Did you know that parents rank teaching financial literacy as the toughest life skill? That's where Greenlight comes in, the debit card and money app made for families. With Greenlight, you can send money quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and track spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn how to earn, save, and spend responsibly, while parents have peace of mind knowing smart money habits are being built. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Spotify.
With new, gentler scented Clorox disinfecting wipes, clean finally smells as good as it feels. On everything from lamps to ceiling fans. Even on your kid's toy shark. Oh, ouch. Clorox disinfecting wipes. Now available in crisp lemon. Find it on Amazon. Clorox. Clean feels good.
Heroes and heroines, crooks and crookians, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary listeners, anyone and everyone, and the Kings of Leon. The audio performance you are about to enjoy discusses casinos and gambling. We do not recommend gambling with money you cannot afford to lose or that is needed to pay bills. If you have a gambling problem, contact your problem gambling hotline. If you do not know how to contact your problem gambling hotline, send an email to help@casinocombat.com. We will find that number for you and provide it to you. Our host's past performances are not indicative of anyone's future results, including his own. All materials presented here are based on actual facts. Names and dates are changed to protect the innocent and the guilty. Some events unrelated to outcomes may be omitted in the interest of brevity and clarity. It's me, it's TRG, the Ramblin Gambler. I am just trying to make a living and doing the best I can.
Lyrics, dude. Recite him some lyrics.
I've been roaming around, always looking down at all I see. Painted faces fill the places I can't reach. You know, I could use somebody. Someone like you and all you know and how you speak. I really could. Someone exactly like you, and I'll get to why in a moment. Welcome to episode 139 of our Casino Combat Podcast. This is your next time. Welcome back. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the gift of your time. If this is your first time, you have arrived at a momentous moment in time, and just in time for a momentous episode. As I said, I am TRG, recorded live in the glorious Casino Combat Studios in parts unknown, and this episode is the start of the 4th year of our Casino Combat Podcast. I am going to try to do things a bit differently, in some subtle and not so subtle ways. This is the start of a new year. Let me ramble at you. If this is your first time, I will explain to you what is going on in just a matter of a few moments. But first, the new and improved Casino Combat 101. Just some things that I think will be helpful and useful to everyone listening, whether it is the first time they have listened or not. Think of this as a listener's guide to the galaxy. The Casino Combat Galaxy, rotating through the TRG verse, is an immense and dense fictional interpretation of the real world. Its purpose is to entertain and amuse all of us, while teaching those who are interested how to win the game of casino gambling. This galaxy has very literally almost 100 characters, over 130 episodes, over 40 wisdoms, a set of tested and proven strategies for beating slot machines, multiple named table game strategies and wagering system tested and played by people all over the globe. Our podcast has a YouTube channel, a website, a Facebook, and a very cool private Slack hangout where the most active characters in this galaxy hang out and talk about life, the casino, and everything 24/7, 365. You are welcome to come play in our galaxy. We are happy to be your guides to this galaxy. But our galaxy is now officially too large for me to explain every part of it and where to find it all out all of the time in every episode. So we have two very important, call them new and call them rules, I guess. We have two very important new rules that I am implementing. The first item is, as it hurts no other player, do as you will is the entirety of the law. Item 2, if I say something and you don't know what I mean, ask. I gotta digress, I'm sorry. And yes, Mitch, that is a Crowley reference, and I do appreciate that I know that you know that, and I am actually looking forward to the conversation. I'm sorry, that was self-indulgent and self-referential. But item 1 is very important to me personally, and I think there are some life lessons in it. Item 2 is the really important one. Item 2 is the really important one. If I say something like TRG4, win more, keep more, or TRG slot strategy, el numero dos, if I reference a casino wisdom, I am not going to explain where to find that information. Too immense, too dense, too much of it. Please just ask. Ask Google. Google. Take 2. Ask Google. Our galaxy is big enough that Google can often find information for you or point you to resources, or at least a starting point for resources if I have described something and you do not know what it is within the context of this podcast and the Casino Combat Galaxy. Check the Casino Combat online resources, the website, the YouTube channel, the Facebook group, which is called the Casino Combat Squad. Just remember to spell combat with a K, and we are very easy to find. Very easy to find. These people are happy to help you. The squad is happy to help you in all of these online spaces if you have a question you would like to ask. The characters in this podcast, the citizens of this galaxy, the members of our squad, wear other names in the real world, but Nakatomi Tony, Same Bet, Virginia Casino player Doug, Billy with the great last name, those are real people, and they are not difficult to find in the real world. Neither am I. You can always ask me. I am just an email away. TRG@casinocombat.com. It's that simple. 3 letters, 3 little letters. TRG, yeah! at casinocombat.com. I will be happy to answer any questions you may have and point you to any resource that you cannot find. All right, I said that if you were new, I would tell you what this is and what this is all about. And I'm going to make sure I keep that promise because I said I would do that. As I said, once again, welcome, particularly if you've made it this far and you didn't say, nope, I'm out, and hit the stop button. In its simplest form, each episode of this podcast is a set of monologues about aspects of gambling, strategies, mindset, bankroll, math, where people have been, what results they received, what comps they got, how they played the game of casino gambling. If you like gambling, there's probably something here you will enjoy or appreciate, hopefully learn from, hopefully are amused by. We tend to see the world of gambling in a slightly different way than many people. And we like to share that here and talk about it here as well. So as such, this podcast is also one point of entry into a group of like-minded people who are attempting to do the same thing, win the game of casino gambling. We are all trying to learn, have fun, and to continue to get better at winning and playing that game. You can hear those other people's stories and their ideas here in addition to my own. You can experience all of these people as fictional characters in a fictional world. Or you can also experience them in the real world in a variety of ways, sometimes without either party either being aware that they are having the conversation. And sometimes as a squad who all knows who everyone is, hanging out together in casinos, in casino spaces, in resort spaces, and creating new stories and learning from each other. And that is where we started this. You thought I forgot. You did. Or maybe you didn't think I forgot. Maybe you forgot. Maybe you didn't remember. Maybe you don't know me and thought I was just a rambling fool. I told you I could use somebody like you and all you know and how you speak. Experience this podcast and our Casino Combat Squad any way you would like. Enjoy this galaxy in whatever way makes sense to you. Take as much or as little as you would like and give the same way. As it hurts no other player, do as you will is the entirety of the law. But our first choice is that you come find us online, that you come find us in the real world, that you join the Facebook group, the Casino Combat Squad, that you figure out where my home casino is, Casino 2, find that real world name and join the Excelsior Brigade and find a member of the Slack Virtual VIP Lounge and ask for an invitation to our lounge and join our perpetual virtual gaming lounge of experts. We want you to come hang out with us in Atlantic City, eat, drink, gamble, hang out by the pool, sit and talk strategy. We want you to join us on comped cruises. We want to be in and around gambling with somebody like you. We want to learn from you. We want to share what we know with you, we do want to truly be a squad, and we are a real squad that you can be part of. This podcast is just a very small part of whatever you would like this to be. Okay, every episode I have a list of segments that I call the battle plan. This episode we're going to start off with an Oasis segment because
it's astounding. Time is fleeting.
We're sending you back to the future!
yes, we are doing a time warp and moving up the timeline about 1 month. We were just in Atlantic City on a Caesars charter trip. Mrs. TRG and Atlantic City Empress Casino Combat's Ace of Hearts spent some time in the pool complex. Mrs. TRG is going to share her thoughts and give us her review of that experience. After that, I'm going to do a Moment of Koncepts segment and share just some ideas and thoughts and things that Same Bet and I have been kicking around in the Slack virtual VIP lounge that tied in with the things that we were discussing about Racer X's question.
Unknown to Speed, Racer X is his older brother Rex, who ran away from home years ago.
That I answered in episode 138. Then we will have a travel segment. I will give you the results for the trip, of course, but I want to talk more about the experience. This was a different trip in some really interesting ways, so I'm going to talk more about that than about the tables, the numbers, and the game. Finally, I met the Yoda of Dice very recently, and that is a story to be shared in the virtual VIP lounge with a sip or two for sure. Before we get to all of that, one quick item that I did come across recently that is relevant. I'm sure you have heard that about these injectable weight loss drugs, Ozempic, and those kinds of drugs. Well, it turns out that scientists have been studying what other effects those drugs have on people who take them. And it turns out that one of the side effects they discovered is that how people assess risk as it relates to gambling and sex is changed significantly, and they make significantly riskier decisions than they normally would when they are taking those drugs. So in this study, the scientists recommended that if you are taking these drugs, you do not gamble or go to casinos. Fascinating. Okay, let's enjoy some time in the Oasis with Mrs. TRG.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Oasis segment of our Casino Combat podcast. While we were in Atlantic City recently, which I'm sure TRG will tell you about later, the lovely Atlantic City Empress and I spent an afternoon at the Ocean Casino Hotel pool. Ocean's pool complex actually has 3 pools. They all overlook out onto the ocean, which is a really cool views. They have 2 private adult pools, the HQ2 Beach Club, which also turns into a nightclub at night, and the Boardwalk Pool and Bar. ACE and I hung out at the family pool, which is both an indoor and an outdoor pool, which is really cool when I look at its ambience and features. The pool itself is actually shaped in an O, maybe standing for ocean? I don't know. Cool design. But half of the pool is actually indoor and half of the pool is outdoor. They have a bypass that you can swim through, so you could start a swim on the outside, swim through the inside, and then they have a rain shower from the ceiling that you could swim through also to get back around to the outside of the pool. Both sides, indoor and outdoor, have plenty of lounge chairs to lounge in. There are a few that you could also rent. ACE and I decided to hang out on the outside of the pool, overlooking the beautiful ocean. So for ambience and features, I give the pool complex a 5 out of 5. Looking at easy access is also a 5 out of 5. ACE took us up an elevator, clearly marked with signs, walked through a very long and open, airy hallway, and entered the pool very easily. Towels were easily accessible, and we found some chairs overlooking the ocean very easy. So a 5 out of 5 for easy access. Food and beverage, I also rated the indoor-outdoor pool as a 5 out of 5. They had a bar right there on the outdoor pool deck, which you could go up and order some drinks. The Empress and I decided to have a few adult beverages. They also had food that you could order. We decided to try some chicken fingers and chips and salsa, which was all very good. The staff was very friendly and good service, and they delivered the food right to our chairs. So a 5 out of 5 for food and beverage. The overall vibe of the family indoor-outdoor pool, I rated a 5 out of 5. It was relaxing with seats overlooking the ocean. The complex was clean, the pools were clean, and I love the idea of the indoor-outdoor. So if it was a cloudy day or rainy, you could choose the indoor side. If you'd rather be outdoor soaking up some sun, you could choose the outdoor half, which I thought kind of gave a neat kind of vibe that you also had that kind of a choice. And it was also very family friendly. So for the Ocean Hotel and Casino Pool Complex, I gave a 20 out of 20. Again, I'd like to thank ACE for an afternoon of laughter, sun, fun, and friendship. Agree, disagree, it doesn't matter. I'm the wife of a Ramblin Gambler. I know the battle plan said a Moment of Koncepts is next, but trust me, TRG is going to do the travel segment next.
When I laid out the battle plan for you, I said we were going to do a Moment of Koncepts segment and then a travel segment before we wrapped up with the Dice Yoda reporting in the virtual VIP lounge. And yet you heard the travel sounder, you heard the travel bumper music, bumper sound. Because as I sit here in this moment, at least you did if T-Rex does his job right, but as I say, sit here in this moment, as I sit here in the glorious Casino Combat Studios, I'm going to do it the other way. And I'm sorry, T-Rex. I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to do this travel segment first, then we will do Moment of Koncepts, and then we'll wrap up in the virtual VIP lounge. I think some of the ideas that I want to talk about in our Moment of Koncepts segments are going to make more sense. They're going to seem more relevant and reasonable if we do those after we talk about the travel piece of things. I've moved forward here to the end of June 2023. As I said, we have done the time. And early in the month, we went on a chartered trip to Atlantic City, primarily to hang out with other members of the squad and just spend some summertime in season on the Jersey Shore. When we got back, I did the rest of my gambling locally, and I want to focus on the trip. And at least for the near future, at least for the next block of episodes, I'm going to be a little bit less rigorous in reviewing results. We've done 3 years of vigorous results review, down to the penny in every category, every month for 3 years. It feels a bit repetitious. It feels like it might be bordering on the boring, and I never like to be boring. That is never something I want to be. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to cover anything. I believed when I started this podcast it was very important that I showed you detailed results. But we're 3 years in. I've had 3 winning years. I've had very few losing months. And admittedly, I have. Nothing works all the time. Everything works till it doesn't. But in totality, I've had very few losing months by the Casino Combat standard. I've had very few losing months just in terms of cash profit after expenses. Other people have done this as well. Other people have used these techniques. I don't feel at this moment in time that we need to be super rigorous about all of this. So let's do it quick. Results are still important. Results are still what it's all about. For the month of June 2023, we left Atlantic City minus 1 day's pay after expenses. And that means we won some money in Atlantic City, just not enough to cover what we spent on transportation fees and taxes, tips, food, drinks, tram fees, cab fees, all of those types of things. We spent more than a day's pay. We won some money, just not enough in Atlantic City proper to cover all of it. Once we were back home, I'm back into my casino routine. I quickly made up that little bit of money spent, and we won money playing blackjack this month, and we won money playing craps this month. We lost just a tiny, minuscule amount of money playing slots using TRG slot strategy El Numero Dos, and we won way more than that playing slots using our free slot play. We all know, we're all smart, intelligent adults. We know you cannot make money playing slots. It's impossible. I mean, you could make money playing slots if you went in, played one slot machine, won a significant amount of money, walked out, put it in the bank, but you can't play slots on a regular basis and make money month in, month out. We all know that's absolutely impossible. However, we did it again this month. Money in with cash using TRG slot strategy El Numero Dos, and lost a little bit, and then won way more than that playing our free slot. If we are using the standard $1 a day scale, we won just over $9 after expenses and received $8 in value from comps and gifts for a total of $17 into our lives after expenses. A winning casino combat month to start year 4. So let's talk about the travel. Let's talk about living a casino lifestyle because we are good at the game of casino gambling. When we returned from our recent cruise, Mrs. TRG and I started planning our summer travel. Travel that we get to do because of casinos. We wanted to see our squad in the Atlantic City area. We were planning a single summer car trip, a long trip, but when we started looking at our comps, we discovered that even in season, we had available to us comped trips from Caesars Entertainment that fit with our schedule very nicely. We were only going to pay the unavoidable taxes and fees. We booked those immediately. One for early June and one for our anniversary at the end of July, the beginning of August. And yes, that means that for episode 140, we will do the time warp once again, and I'll tell you about that trip as well. If you've never done a chartered gambling trip, this is how they usually work. In this case, what fit our schedule was to drive about an hour and a half to a regional airport. And we love flying out of these smaller airports when that's where the charters take off from. They have lower parking fees, and being smaller, it's much easier to get through security and get on the plane. We've been doing these for years now, and I gotta confess, it just hasn't changed. I'm still that little farm kid as I start each one. I'm still that poor college kid writing code on the game of blackjack and card counting. I'm still that new husband walking into his first casino and playing his first $2 hands. And I'm still grateful and amazed that this is something that we get to do. That for free, we get on an airplane and get a comped hotel room on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. It is just amazing to me that that's available to us. And I know for some of you, it's not a big deal. Some of you don't think anything of it. You've always had air travel. You've always gone wherever you wanted to do. Some of you still go wherever you want to go. And good, wonderful, amazing. That's not me. That's not who I am or who I have ever been. Being able to play a low house advantage game and walk out with a profit most of the time means I get to do things like this on a regular basis. And AC is an easy flight for us. Up in the air, receive a complimentary cocktail, down to the runway, about an hour of total flight time, quickly out the door in an airport we know really well, another small regional airport, onto a charter bus, and in less than 30 minutes, they're handing us a key to our comped hotel room. We arrived just before dinner time on our first night. So Mrs. TRG and I spent the evening enjoying the Tropicana and gambling in the casino. Fun fact, when we started this podcast adventure, Tropicana was owned by Eldorado and not part of the Caesars brand. We'd been there a handful of times while staying at Caesars Atlantic City, and our running joke was that somehow their records caused the Tropicana at the time to focus on Mrs. TRG for the comps and the gifts. They viewed her as the high value player. She was the one they paid attention to. She was a big time blackjack player from their point of view. And so we'd go there to see a show she got comped or pick up a wine comp or something like that. And I just kind of hang out and be the arm candy and pretend I didn't understand blackjack while actually coaching her through the blackjack. And that's a fun memory. But fast forward to the present, and we both know the Tropicana well. We know the dealers and bartenders, and they know us. We know the nooks and crannies, the areas of the casino we like, the restaurants we like. People ask where we've been when we get back. The shoe shine always takes care of my boot. Our casino lifestyle makes it feel like we've never left every time we return, and that is a truly wonderful thing from our point of view. Another tidbit I want to share here is a conversation I had with Excelsior Brigade member Nakatomi Tony in the lead up to the trip. He was planning to come see us, and at one point he said, "But I don't want to intrude on your vacation." And that's wonderful of him to be considerate, but the point I made to him, and the point that I think is important, and wow, this is such a blessing to be able to think this way, I said to him, "Nakatomi Tony, we're not going on vacation. We're just living our lives somewhere else for a few days. And part of the reason we want to go live there is because we're going to get to spend time with Nakatomi Tony, Atlantic City Empress, and East Coast Emissary PhD. Those are the reasons we want to go live our lives there for a few days. And the comp system and our gambling skill allow us to do that. And this is a casino lifestyle mindset. It really is. For some people, casinos admittedly are an evil thing and they would never go there, and that's fine. And for others, they are exciting and fun and something that it is a luxury to do once in a while. Every single one of these trips that we take, there are several people on the plane excited about their annual discounted trip to Atlantic City. They're only paying roughly 1 day's pay, in my terminology, per person, plus taxes and fees and resort fees to go to Atlantic City and stay in a hotel for 3 days. That is a deal compared to what it would cost to do that list price. They're going to go gambling in a casino. They have money to lose. It's going to be fun. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's a good and wonderful thing. Wonderful. And that's not what I call a casino lifestyle. The couple days before we left, I was in a casino both days. Picked up free stuff and made money. Day we got back, the following day, I was in a casino that day, picking up free gifts and free play. I particularly, but Mrs. TRG and I both, live a significant portion of our lives in and around casinos because they provide us with great value. Value in entertainment, value in food, value in money to gamble with, value in cool spaces and places to hang out, value in beautiful ocean views in this case. That is casino lifestyle to us. Not once a year, I pay several $100s per person for a weekend in Atlantic City. That is a vacation. That is absolutely a vacation. But that is not a casino lifestyle for me. And that's the point I wanted to make to Nakatomi Tony. This is not, I'm going to Hawaii for the first time in my life. This is not, I'm taking a tour of Europe and every moment is precious. This is like, hey, I was going to spend the weekend in a casino somewhere. I had time off and my wife wanted to go. What casino did we want to go to? Oh, we can go to Atlantic City. We love Atlantic City. We have friends there. Let's go there. We do enjoy going to Atlantic City, and I wish we could go more often. It is one of the best places to gamble in the United States at this moment in time. And my point to Tony was, if we were not living there, we would be living in some other casino somewhere else. We don't think of those, as I said, of vacations any more than it's a vacation if we go to Casino 1 or Casino 2. Okay, I hope I've made the point. I think I've made the point. Caesars and MGM both run extensive charter flights all over North America. Just like cruise lines, once you get involved with those programs, maybe paying for the first experience like you would with any other casino relationship. But once you do that, once you establish that relationship, you can return to a variety of destinations easily and often. The Gulf Coast, Atlantic City, New Orleans, Reno, Tahoe, Kansas City, Las Vegas occasionally, not quite as often, but Caesars does run a few of those. All of those are at your fingertips as a place to just go live for a few days if you play at the proper level and play well. Now, you can go if you don't play well. It's going to cost you a lot in losses, I guess. The second day of our visit was a squad day. We rode tram down the boardwalk from Tropicana to Ocean early in the day. Mrs. TRG has described the time she and Atlantic City Empress spent at the pool. I settled in at a blackjack table after the ladies met up, knowing that Dr. ECE would come find me a bit later. He did, and he brought a very unique scotch for me to sample and enjoy while we played some cards. Dr. ECE and I had a casino day while the ladies enjoyed their time at the pool. We played some craps. Doc introduced me to Let It Ride, a game I had never thought about playing. We had a beer in the sports book and swapped stories and enjoyed hanging out together. And I can't say enough good things about Ocean as a property or about how generous ACE and Dr. ECE have been with their time, their knowledge of the building, their relationships with people in and around the resort. It's wonderful to have local guides who show us around, who take us through the best of everything, show us what's going on, and use their connections for the benefit of the squad. It really is. After the time at the pool and the time at the casino, Mrs. TRG and I went back to Tropicana, and here's more of that casino lifestyle. On day one of our visit, we received at the Tropicana multiple comps in addition to the room comps. Free bets, free slot play, a dining credit. At Ocean, we both received free slot play. When we returned to Tropicana, we had more free bets and some free slot. As we discussed last episode, those comps and gifts are part of what make a casino lifestyle possible, and we do our best to maximize those. I spent some time hanging out with Nakatomi Tony while Mrs. TRG got ready to go out, and then Dr. ECE picked us up, and we all went to dinner at the Amphora Lounge at Borgata. And what a cool thing that is. Between us, the group has managed to leverage their MGM relationship such that we are all at the third tier, the MGM gold level, and each person with an MGM card, a gold card, is able to have a guest, so we can get 6 people into the lounge at Amphora. And Amphora is a proper casino VIP lounge. Lots of TVs for sports, prime rib at the carving station, seafood station always, multiple salads, sandwich station, rotating entrees every day, great drinks, we had a great meal, and then sat for a while talking and enjoying chocolate martinis. Afterwards, we went back to Ocean for some additional gambling to wrap up the evening. For our final day in town, Mrs. TRG and I roamed Atlantic City as efficiently as possible and to enjoy as many of our favorite places as we possibly could. We used free play and free bets at Borgata, and then visited both resorts and Hard Rock for comps with a break in between for some food and ocean view at Landshark before returning to the Tropicana for a final evening of gambling with some additional free bets and free slot play. The next day we flew home early and spent Father's Day afternoon with my children and grandchildren. And that little farm kid is still pretty amazed. Started the week doing my normal IT consultant tasks. Did a little gambling around home. Flew to the ocean and spent time with good friends. Flew home in time to be a father and a grandfather, and then finish out the month with a cash profit. It's almost time to go see our friends again in just a few weeks in Atlantic City. Sorry I scrambled the sequence. I think you will see why. Let's do a moment of concepts.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind.
Thing means nothing. What?
A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination.
Moment of Koncepts segment, concepts spelled with a K, of course, are about ideas or considering ideas. They're our place to think about things that don't necessarily belong in any particular category or bucket, to just kind of consider aspects of gambling that I may come across or other people may come across. In episode 138, I responded to a question from Racer X.
Unknown to Speed, Racer X is his older brother Rex, who ran away from home years ago.
About gambling differently when I travel. And I do. And in that episode, I kind of explained how and why. I was talking in the Slack virtual VIP lounge with YouTube star and Excelsior Brigade member Same Bet about his reservations about going on a cruise. He was wondering if he should rethink it. He kind of gave us things he didn't think he would like about cruises, and myself and Equine Ensign and some others kind of talk through what we like about them. And I mentioned the dice cruises, thinking that would be inviting, interesting, fun for someone like Same Bet, who is a craps aficionado, a craps expert, has spent a lot of time building a very impressive craps resume. That was something that motivated me, right? The thing that got me motivated to cruise was the dice cruises that Premier Casino Hosting puts on. That's what motivated me to try it for the first time. And I learned a lot about cruises, cruising, and found something I really like that's a great addition to our casino lifestyle, and I thought maybe that would be attractive to Same Bet. And SB explained that he doesn't really like playing with other people he knows. He feels he plays differently in those situations. He feels pressured to make bets he would not normally make, or to stay longer than he might otherwise stay at a table, bet larger than he had planned to do, etc. For that reason, he saw dice cruises as a negative for him, not a positive. And that makes sense. But it's not an aspect of gambling I had really ever considered. And that's what I wanted to talk a bit about today, is that idea of playing differently around other people, regardless of what the location is. And Same Bet is right. I hadn't considered it. Like a lot of things in life, now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. It's something we're all going to need to navigate to some degree as the squad grows and meets up more and more often in real life. As I acknowledged in episode 138, I play differently on a trip than I do local. If nothing else, because I'm not going to just win an amount in 15 minutes and leave the property as I could at my local casino. I'm going to play more because that's part of the reason for being there. In hindsight, I can see this is the group dynamic after dinner in Atlantic City when the five of us were all together. We are all gamblers. That's how we met. That's what we are in Atlantic City to do, and those are the relationships in Atlantic City with the various casino brands that we want to maintain. And how do we do that together? We each have our own style, our own games we play, our own exit plan. Atlantic City Empress plays slots, sometimes high-limit slot, where she's probably the only consistent high-limit slot player I really know or spend much time with. I am not a high-limit slot player for the most part. Mrs. TRG and I play mostly blackjack, although recently also a fair amount of crap. Nakatomi Tony is mostly a craps player. Is Same Bet right? Are we playing differently because we are with a group? Undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. There is no question now that I've had these conversations with Same Bet that he's absolutely right. I played Let It Ride for the first time ever because Dr. ECE wanted to show me the game and things he's worked on around the game. And I think I want to revisit it. I think I want to understand it more. But I lost a small amount of money playing a game I would not normally play. And maybe that's also gambling for education, and that's a fine and worthy endeavor as well, but it's different than what I would normally do. It's a change. It's a change because I'm with and around other people, and I'm doing things differently than I would normally do them. The opposite is also true. I've been playing a lot of crap. At least a lot of craps for me. Ocean had a $10 table. That's perfect for me. East Coast Emissary plays some bubble craps, and he's been testing his ambush and guerrilla ambush strategies online. Those strategies have tested well for him online. He's happy with them online. They do well. He wins way more often than he loses. He agreed to join me at the craps table at my suggestion, something he probably would not have done if we had not been there together. I won a few dollars, but his ambush strategy that almost never fails, as I said, online, failed that day, and he lost real money, probably making wagers that he would not have made if I wasn't there. Did it matter in the end? No. He did a trip report when he got home to the group on the Slack channel. He made money on his trip to AC after expenses. Mrs. TRG and I combined didn't quite cover our expenses, but I made money for the month when it was all said and done. It didn't impact anyone this month. This idea of playing differently because we were together as a group didn't harm anybody. And as it does no harm to other players, do as you will is the entirety of the law. That is certainly true. But Same Bet is 100% correct. Just as I play differently when I travel in general, I play differently when I'm with a group. A goal of mine and a purpose of our Casino Combat podcast is to recognize and control negative emotion. And I'm not saying this is a negative emotion, but it is an emotion to be recognized. To gamble with and stick to a plan is another goal of Casino Combat. And finally, of course, to be wise and recognize situations in which wisdom can and should be applied. This excellent observation about himself made by Same Bet applies to me as well. I appreciate being aware of it. It may apply to many of you as well, and now that you are aware of it, this is a new skill that all of us can be aware of and learn from and about. And Same Bet may be correct. For some of us, not gambling with friends may be something we want to be aware of, maybe something we want to do in very limited ways, and maybe we don't want to go on a 7-day cruise with gambling friends out of a concern for our ability to control this aspect of our personality. Okay, next up, the Dice Yoda report in the virtual VIP lounge.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Welcome to the most must-listen-to segment in casino lifestyle podcasting, the virtual VIP lounge, and our lounge is open. We have the best virtual everything virtually all of the time. The best virtual food and drink served in any virtual VIP lounge anywhere on the interwebs. Guaranteed or your money back. As always, if you can, press pause. Pour yourself a little something. Today is a root beer day for me. Today is a day where I am going to take it a little easy. I have a variety of other tasks and responsibilities, but if it's the right time and place, enjoy an adult beverage. I love hanging out in VIP lounges with friends, having some beverages, just had some wonderful chocolate martinis with the squad in a wonderful real-world VIP lounge at the Borgata in Atlantic City. It was absolutely wonderful. And I have an amazing story for you that happened just kind of after I got back. And I said story, and I shouldn't have. And I may say it again, and I don't mean to. I have a report for you. I'm going to engage in a little hyperbole here for just a moment or two, some analysis, some stage setting for comparison's sake, but then I am going to do my best to factually and accurately and as reliably as I can relate to you what I saw and observed. So that is not our traditional story. That is a report. And I'm going to be as factual as I can possibly be. So here we go, and also a good reason for the root beer today to avoid any embellishment on my part. I recently met Dice Yoda. But not Phantom Menace Dice Yoda, right? Not flippy lightsaber Yoda. No. When the Empire Strikes Back Yoda. The one on Dagobah. The one where we and Luke have no idea that this green individual that we are meeting is in fact Yoda the Jedi Master. It's a swamp. He doesn't look like a master necessarily. We don't know what we don't know. Short, thin, balding is Dice Yoda. Bushy curly gray hair. Moves very slowly. Very polite. Gets everyone's name at the craps table. Calls them by name. Pays attention to it. Has a couple note cards and a pen. And he is recording every roll. And he would sometimes draw circles around combinations of numbers. Dice Yoda is distracted, confused. His bets appear to be random. He turns them on and off for what does not appear to be any reason that I can find. He starts and stops his thoughts. He would say things randomly, or seemingly randomly for no particular reason. He was also very strict. We were standing next to each other, and at one or 2 points, he would tap my wrist on my right hand with his pen because a finger or two of mine was actually in his rack. So I think you're getting it. This is my impression of the man for about 30 minutes before he got the dice. These are my interactions with him. Empire Strikes Back, Yoda on Dagobah, at a craps table, a pen instead of a staff, and maybe I'm the Luke Skywalker. Maybe I am. I still don't know. But what follows from that experience is, from here forward, my hand to God, as factual and unembellished as I can make this recounting. My intent here was to have set the stage to now deliver a report and not tell a story as it relates to recounting what I experienced. When he said hello, when he arrived, he said to me, "Oh, they have the fire bet here." The fire bet. Yeah, the fire bet. They have that. When I get the dice, young man, tell me I want to bet on that. And I said I would, and I was stick right, first position by the stick, and he was to my right. And the dice were on the other end of the table, so we got to play together for a good half hour or so before he got the dice. And I got to form this impression that I just shared with you. I built a sense of this crazy, random, confused old man who admittedly knew a great deal about craps and asked great questions about blackjack and was very personable, but he was all over the place from my point of view. And when he was about to get the dice, I said to him, "You wanted me to remind you to make a fire bet when you got the dice." And he thanked me and he said 3. And then he made a $1 fire bet. A fire bet that pays off if you make and then replace 3 or more different points before throwing big red. The more unique points you throw, the more the wager pays. Dice Yoda looked down at my don't pass bet and said softly, almost mumbled, "You don't want to do that. I'm going to throw a 7. His throw was weak and soft, without any specific or unique set or grip or anything of significance that I particularly detected. He threw a 3 and a 4. Big red. I lost my bet. He chuckled a bit and said, "I told you so." I made another don't pass bet. He created a point of 6. I bet the 5 and the 8 for a total of $55. A few minutes later, he made a bet on the hard 6, threw a hard 6 2 throws later. I lost my don't pass bet. I had made nothing on my place bets. I made a don't pass bet. He threw a point of 5. I moved my 5 to the 6 and added a nickel to get to $30. $30 on the 6, $30 on the 8. Dice Yoda threw some 9s and 10s. Dice Yoda bet the yo and threw the yo and threw the yo again. He hit his point of 5. I did not make another don't pass line bet, having lost that one at this point. I still had not gotten paid anything on my 6 or my 8. And I still can't see anything that he is doing that looks like traditional dice setting. He is positioning the dice, but if it has meaning, he is using a wide variety of different sets. Nothing's repeated, nothing special about his toss. It is very soft. He is a small old man. The dice don't travel very far or very hard, but it certainly all looked very random to me. As we were preparing for the next point to be established, he asked how I was doing. I said I should have listened to you. You were right. He grinned and said, "You should have." I told you. Did you hit anything, he asked. I said, "Not at this moment, not on him." He looked at the table for a minute or two. He threw a point of 4. Recall, my bets are $30 on the 6 and $30 on the 8. From the moment he established the 4, Dice Yoda threw, in order, I took notes, 6, 8, 9. 2 of my bets. 6, my bet. 10, 8, my bet. My bets twice. Then he threw a 4 and made his third point. He looked up at me and he said, "Good thing you remembered to remind me to make that fire bet. 3 points." He checked his notes and he said again, 3 points. And there were some people with some pretty big fire bets out, $25, $50 fire bets. And they're screaming, come on, you can do it. You can throw 4 more. You can throw another point. Throw for 4. You can get 1 more. The 8 is still open. Get 1 more after you get the 10. Here we go. I'd swear Dice Yoda shook his head just a tiny bit negative. Maybe he said no, not 4. As I said, he set the point at 10. He threw 1 more 8. He took down all his bets, and he threw a 7. He stuck around for a few more shooters. We talked just a little bit. We chit-chatted. He colored up. And as he did, he said, "It's not easy to beat them for $50 every day. You have to pay attention." I swear to you, that is a report, not a story. It is as accurate as I can make it. I have resisted the urge to embellish something that stands on its own for whatever it is. I don't know what I saw. I have simply shared with you what I experienced. Please tip your waitresses, tip your bartenders, tip your dealers. If you have a host, tip your host. Don't tip away your wins. I have spoken. Everything you heard here is true from a certain point of view. In 10 years, we may find out I was wrong about all of this. It's time for leaving, and I hope you understand I was born a ramblin' man. Love it, hate it, it don't matter. Please share with your family and friends. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the gift of your time. The best part of the podcast is next.
If we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With the all-new Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, every morning it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from good to excellent. Introducing the new Sleep Score on Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo. There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned.
What are you gonna do? I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault. A new series streaming now only on Peacock.
For Atlantic City Empress, Casino Combat's ace.
There are profits in the casino tonight, I can feel it in my bones. I had a premonition, you should probably play alone. I know the house has an advantage, but that's part of the thrill. If we follow the core concepts, the chips begin to spill. So baby, here's your player's card, put your bankroll in your hand. Use just some of that money now, do it just the way we planned. Just follow the core concepts and you could win several grand. Well, it's good if it goes down like that, don't have to play to lose. It's gambling as a business, the Casino Combat Blues. Casino Combat Blues. The dealers and the pit bosses, the security and the law, the winning and the losing and the tricks nobody saw. No matter if it's blackjack, roulette, or craps, you gotta carry defense, cause you always carry cash. There's lots of shady characters, lots of dirty deals. Everybody has an alias, cause that's more fun we feel. It's the lure of winning money, it's got a very strong appeal. Perhaps you'd understand it better standing in my shoes. It's the ultimate enticement, it's the Casino Combat Blues. Casino Combat Blues. Whoa. to go away. We can gamble in Atlantic City. We can gamble in LA. We can gamble out in Vegas. I mean, we're here to stay. Gambling's propping up the budgets of folks like me and you. You ask any casino manager, he'll say there's nothing he can do. From the pockets of the casino, right down to me and you. Me and you. It's a winning proposition and one you shouldn't refuse. It's just the core concepts, the casino combat blues. Casino combat blues.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.